Hey peeps, what's up? Munchie here, back with another video. And in this video, I'm going to show you how you can create your own free Amazon AWS account. And once we are done creating the account, we are going to enable and set up multi-factor authentication for this AWS account. So all you need to do is go to this website, which again is linked in the description of the video. And the website we are looking for is aws.amazon.com. You are going to land up on a page like this, and then on the top right you will see something called create an AWS account. So we're going to select that option. Now do note, to create an AWS account you do need a unique email address, and you also need a credit card or a debit card. And before you ask me, hey Manchi, you just said that it is a free AWS account, so why do I need my credit card or debit card? Well, you need it so that in case you are exceeding the free tier usage of AWS account, they can charge you, but it is still free to create the account. And as I mentioned earlier, the email address needs to be unique for an AWS account, but you can use the same credit or debit card across different AWS accounts. And I am going to show you a pro tip on how you can actually use the same Gmail account to sign up for multiple AWS accounts. So you need to enter your root user email address in this text box. All right, so there it is. You can see I've entered my email address, but as soon as my email address ends and before the @ sign, I have added plus AWS 01. Similarly, you can do plus AWS 02, 03, and any character after the plus sign will make this email address unique for AWS purposes. But when I get the email for verification, it will go to my email address. I do not have to create this plus AWS 01 @gmail.com. Whatever is entered before the plus sign is my actual Gmail address. So there it is. That is how you can use the same Gmail address for multiple AWS accounts. And then you need to give it an AWS account name. Now this name can be anything, and of course, as it mentions over here, you can change this name in your account settings after you have signed up. Now once you've entered your email address and your AWS account name, we are going to say verify email address. Now once you do that, you're going to get a verification code in your Gmail address. Now once you've gotten the verification code, enter it over here, and then we're going to say verify. Do note that the code can take up to 5 minutes to arrive, and also make sure that you check your spam folder. In my case, I will just select verify over here, and there it is. My email address has been successfully verified. Next thing we need to do is we need to create a root user password. So as soon as you create an AWS account, by default a root user is created. Now what is a root user? Well, a root user is the big boss or the admin. It can do anything with the AWS account. It can create EC2s, S3s. It can actually delete the AWS account as well. And the password needs to be at least 8 characters long, and you need to have 3 of the following. So uppercase, lowercase numbers, and non-alphanumeric characters. And as you enter your password, you will notice that whatever requirements you have fulfilled, they get check marked in green, and then you have to confirm the root user password. Now, once you've entered your password, next up we're going to say continue. And then you will land up on a page like this. Herein you need to select whether you're doing it for business or you're doing it for personal projects. In our case, we're doing it for personal projects. That is what we're going to select. And then you need to enter your personal details, including your full name, phone number, country, address, city, postal code. So let me enter all of that information. Now, once you've entered all this information, we're going to say, I have read and agree to the terms and conditions of AWS customer agreement, and then we're going to select continue. Next up, you will land up on a page like this. Herein you need to enter your debit card or credit card number along with the expiration date and the card holder's name. And if the billing address on your credit card or debit card is different from what you entered on the previous screen, then you have to select use a new address over here and enter the new address. And once you've entered all the details, we're going to say verify and continue. Next up, you need to confirm your identity. So either you can get a voice call or you can get a text message, you do have to enter your mobile phone number over here along with the captcha. And then we're going to select send SMS. Now at this point, you're going to get a verification code on your phone, and we're going to enter that code over here in this text box and say continue. Now you should land up on a screen like this, and here and you can select your support plan. So for our purpose, we're going to make sure that basic is selected because basic support is free, and we're going to say complete sign up. And there it is. We have successfully created our AWS account, and to sign in, either you can choose sign in on the top right, or you can say go to AWS management console. So here it is, we are on the sign in page, and make sure that root user is selected, and then we're going to enter the root user email address. So you have to use the email address which we just used to create a new AWS account. Now once you've entered the email address, we're going to select next, and now we need to enter our password. And once we've entered a password, we're going to say sign in. Now, in some cases, you might have to enter a CAPTCHA or a security check once again, but in my case, that did not happen. So here it is, we have successfully created our AWS account. We are on the service menu, and if in the search bar you type in EC2 and select EC2, then you should be on the EC2 dashboard. This means that our account has been created successfully and the payment information and everything has been verified. Now the next step is to enable multi-factor authentication. How do you do that? So you will go on the top right where your username is mentioned and click on the down arrow. Once you do that, we will go into security credentials. Now, as soon as you reach the page of security credentials, you will notice that you're getting a message that, hey, multi-factor authentication has not been activated for root user. So we're going to say assign MFA. Now on the next screen, you have three different options for multi-factor authentication. So either you can use an authenticator app on your smartphone or on your computer, or you can use a physical key like YubiKey or a FIDO security key, or you can use a hardware TOTP token. So for the purpose of this video, we're going to use the authenticator app. So make sure that the radio box besides your authenticator app is selected, and then we're going to select next. Now do note, you do need to give your MFA device a name. So let us say the name is AWS01 MFA, and we're going to select next. Now once you land up on this page, if you select see a list of compatible applications and scroll down on the other page, here are the different applications which are supported. So for Android, you have Microsoft Authenticator, Google Authenticator, and the same thing for iOS. Use whatever application you want to, and then we will go back to our AWS management console, and herein you need to say show QR code. Once you say show QR code, the QR code is going to show up, and then you have to scan this QR code using your authenticator application on your smartphone. And then the next thing you need to do is enter two codes which have been generated by the authenticator app on your phone. Now do note that the codes will change and they do need to be different. So let me enter the first code. And now we're going to wait for the authenticator code to change on our smartphone and then enter that in the MFA code to field. Now once you've entered both the codes, we're going to say add MFA, and there it is. You can see we now have a message which says MFA device assigned. So let us sign out of this account and then we can log back in and see what happens. So root user is selected. I'm going to enter my root user email address over here, and on the next screen I will enter my password, and bam, there it is. You can see it is asking me for my MFA code. Let me enter my MFA code and say submit, and there it is. We are back in the AWS console. Now another pro tip over here is that you see this on the top right, it says Ohio. I would suggest you keep it as US East North Virginia, because that I think is the cheapest when it comes to your AWS services. And there it is, peeps. That is how you create an AWS account for free in 2023 and also enable and set up multi-factor authentication.